Welcome back to another episode of Matter of Fact. It is your boy, the world travel. No, I'm just playing. It's Tommy. Doing good. Feeling good off of citrus. Get your drink on.
Citrus, bro. Citrus.
He's feeling real good. But yeah, today we're going to talk about something a little serious. Very serious, actually. I'm gonna let Rob take it away.
Yeah, so something definitely hits home. I have a good friend of mine, one of my best friends, longest friends, over 30 years. Been through some shit, a lot of shit in his life. Was doing well, but somehow, some way, he went back and got into trying to drugs, heroin, I guess is what you would say, but it ends up always being fentanyl these days. And the what happened to him and the repercussions of his choice that day forever changed the lives of not only himself but all of his loved ones around him. So we'll talk a little bit more about that, but that's kind of what we're talking about today. And this video breaks it down that it's more common than you think.
Yeah, so actually this video is 8 years old and it's talking about what these overdose victims have to deal with. And it's funny seeing like just the stark compare and contrast, and it seems you'll see the similar things.
Jingle, I like it.
23-year-old Scott Andrews remembers the day he overdosed on heroin.
I was dead for 18 minutes, clinically dead for 18 minutes with no oxygen to my brain.
Cool. So that's the thing there, and I don't know how deep they'll go in this specific video, but obviously when your brain doesn't have oxygen, your brain needs oxygen more than any organ in your body, essentially. I don't know what they say, but after about 8 minutes at least, you're probably going to have some sort of damage occurring. And oftentimes they say it could occur like bilateral in the hippocampus, I think is kind of some stuff I read, which can affect your memory. And that's something that happened to my friend in particular is, when he saw his girl and her kids, who was visiting him more than anybody, of course, he said, I don't remember you, but I believe you that you're my girlfriend and that these are my kids. So, real crazy. He seems to remember me. Hung out a couple days ago, drove him around and shit. We went up to my boy's house. He knew where the bathroom was and stuff like that, so he had that sort of memory. But we don't know what his level of functioning is yet. I don't know how long this guy is out when he's talking in this video, but we're hoping that he continues to recover because he has made a lot of progress, but right now it's at a scary point. So, just say that.
Yeah.
It happened at his house in Hampton in May of 2015. His life was saved by the overdose
I think that's what
drug
people don't
Narcan,
realize is like how
his injuries
serious
were severe.
I have an anoxic brain injury. The outlook was very grim at first. I was in a vegetative state for about 18 days. I couldn't move, I couldn't talk. All I could do was really grunt and blink my eyes.
Andrew spent 3.5 months at Spalding Rehabilitation Hospital in Boston.
I had to learn how to walk again, to learn how to feed myself and just everything, really.
He now walks with a limp, and according to experts, injuries from overdoses like the ones Andrew suffered are on the rise.
The number of overdoses has gone up exponentially in the last few years, and some of the substances out there are even more potent than what they used to be.
Dr. Mark Pullman works at Catholic Medical Center in Manchester, where opioid overdose-related emergency visits have more than doubled since 2011.
Unfortunately, if these things continue to occur...
Well, you said at the beginning, this video here is actually 8 years old. They were saying that statistic was from 2016. Can you imagine what those numbers are today? They must have doubled again at least. So if they were 1,000, it's at 2,000, if not more. Which is crazy because now it's not just heroin. They said the fentanyl, which is on the rise, and even specifically if you go to Kensington, which is near where we live, one of the craziest open drug markets in the United States. They have shit called trank, where they mix the heroin, fentanyl with another, which is essentially a horse tranquilizer called xylazine. Overall, they call it trank, and it rots people's skin where they inject it, causing gangrene and necrosis. Really insane shit, So yeah, it's crazy that that occurs in our society, right?
I mean, yeah, like, yeah, that was nasty.
Yes, and if you immediately, then you can get hypoxia or low oxygen to the brain that can lead to brain dysfunction.
These days, heroin is most oftentimes laced with fentanyl and sold to users, which Dr. Pullman says is leading to more severe overdoses and injuries to the body.
It can go from complete brain death, where the patient is technically considered dead, even though their body's alive, the brain is dead, to a comatose state due to severe bilateral strokes.
Depending on how severe the injuries are, some patients are discharged shortly after an overdose, while others deal with long-term recovery.
Perhaps they're just having problems with cognition, their thought processes, memory, to more severe people who have come in and they're basically in a semi-awake state.
Dr. Fred Brock from Crotched Mountain Rehabilitation Center says 20% of their patients are coming in with brain-related injuries from opioid overdoses.
These people...
Damn. 20%?
Yeah.
Opioids?
And again, this is years ago. The problem's only gotten worse, so just think about that. But you heard some of the stuff that they said there, that's really intense. And that's the question, we expect the recovery period to be long. What happened with my friend is he was alone when this happened. He's lucky that his girlfriend was calling the police nonstop, telling them that they had to check on him. And, it happens every day in Kensington, so it ain't really no thing, but he's not really from there. So, found him. How long was he out before they hit him with the Narcan to wake him back up? I don't know. You know what I mean? So that's those minutes where they're talking about that either hypoxia, which is decreased oxygen to the brain, or potential being apoxic, which means no oxygen to the brain. How long was that period of time, and what damage did that cause? Because then after that, during that time, your body's not functioning, but then when it kicks back up again, you can't just kick back up again. You know what I mean? Your blood you're just going to start pumping again and things like that because it wasn't.
Yeah.
So that can cause strokes and stuff like that, which is just what happened, and they kind of mentioned that. So, yeah. So we got to see. But right now it seems like my buddy, he's almost devoid of emotion. It's in almost like a zombie-ish state. Yeah, he seems like he can understand what you're saying. He still has trouble speaking because he had the tube in his for breathing and all that for a long time. So he's going through therapy for that. But yeah, I don't know. I got to talk to him. Got to try to motivate him. That's got to be something that's really hard, and it has to take somebody that really wants to overcome it. You can't fall into the hole. Because it's going to be a deep hole.
Yeah,
So you got to say, I got to get up every day and I got to do this whether I want to or not. In order to talk, I'm telling you, you better read a paragraph out loud every fucking day. A paragraph is some weak shit, better be a fucking page. You know what I mean? He needs that to hear that sort of shit. He needs, I think, if there's any chance to survive and get where he needs to be. But
yeah, man. Prayers up for what's his name?
My homie Kurt.
Prayers up for Kurt, man.
I appreciate it.
Prayers up for Kurt, y'all.
Appreciate
put the
it.
prayer hands in the chat.
Put prayer hands. Don't do drugs, guys. Stay away from that sort of shit.
We doing drugs right now.
Smoke weed, medical marijuana is what this is. It says on my shirt, medical marijuana. Tommy might smoke that street shit, but mine is all medical, guys. I'm legit. So
medical worse for you than
it's good. It's definitely way better than that. So, but what else do they got?
I don't even smoke.
often have sustained injuries, have fractures, have undergone surgeries, and require pain medication for management of that. So when you add the addiction to that, it becomes very difficult to treat.
Patients work with speech, physical, and occupational therapists, and in some cases, meet with substance abuse counselors as well.
We're looking at the medical piece. We're looking at what they need for treatment from mental health and behavioral health.
Counselor Emily Robbins was hired in October to deal with the influx of these types of patients.
It really is kind of catered to each patient because each patient's injuries are different, traumatic brain injuries are different, and just like their substance use was different.
Robbins hopes the state allocates more resources.
You know, that's the thing. Like, everybody's situation is obviously going to be different when it comes to injuries and shit. And that's with my buddy here. Just for an example of the healthcare system, they said that the one dude was in the rehabilitation for 3 months. My buddy was in the hospital for a while. He got to the rehabilitation. He probably only had about a month there. And they said, oh, they speed you up to hit these milestones. And then they said, okay, your insurance ain't covering it anymore. And kind of forced him home ahead of schedule in the eyes of his loved ones. So they said, oh, you have to take him home, but he requires 24/7 care.
Dang.
Or supervision.
Do you think that's because of like budget cuts and stuff?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I think that's just America for you. Like, that's just our healthcare system. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
In general, yeah.
you know what I mean. That's just the way it works. Like, we're not really about really helping people like that. So and then she has to go through all this stuff to get like Medicaid and stuff like that for him, and hopefully get some additional resources because she has 2 kids to take care of. He can't be essentially the third child. You know, just not gonna work. So crazy situations in life, man. You know, mistakes could be something. Smallest thing could change your life forever. So
Literally.
never take it for granted. It's a true story. You know, I hope the best for my boy. I'm gonna stick by him and support him. You know, I know a lot of people won't. You know, because it's hard, but you know, I'm gonna kind of be hard on him too.
Yeah.
You know, because you got to hear those things and listen and be like, yo. Even his girl told me that she's, you know, it's hard for her because if he has a bad attitude, you know, and they're doing all the work, like, you know, you better get up every day, you better work hard, and you better be grateful because what little you have left may be gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nothing's guaranteed. He's not entitled to anything, you know, in terms of whatever. That's just the way we are in this country, like I said. So, he's got to play ball too. Hopefully he can, you know, with the injuries that he sustained too. We don't know. So, but
Yeah.
leave it at that. I don't know. Do you know anybody? I mean, Tommy's going to school here at a very prestigious university, so
Yeah, I
not
go to
around those
Columbia
sort of people.
University.
Yeah, not around the sort of people that will get into this. But do you know anybody who ever had any issues with drug overdoses like that? Narcan.
Yeah, bro. So like, you know, I go to Columbia, and I'm friends with a lot of niggas from what's it called, NYU, and those motherfuckers are crazy. And you know, they used to party with Hunter. Nah, I was playing. But seriously, I don't really know too many people that struggle with opioids directly. But I know, like, I got people in the family struggling, like, with addiction and stuff, and like, it's fucking them up. It's fucking up their relationships. And me, you know, I'm a level-headed nigga, so I'm like, yeah, I understand you saying all this right now, but you hurt, you feel misunderstood, and like, you just addicted, like, you just lame as fuck. Quite frankly, like, I feel kind of bad for you, but I also want you to do better because you can do better. So yeah,
no doubt. A lot of it, like, I know a lot of people from my high school, like, that was just the age of it. A lot of people died from overdoses throughout the years.
that's great.
And a lot of my cousins and stuff actually live in Kensington.
Where is Kensington?
Kensington is part of Philly.
Oh shit. Let's go there.
Okay. I've been there a lot.
Let's go there and find those snakes
Like
that you were talking about,
You'll
lizards,
find them
and,
there. You'll find some syringes
rats.
and needles and shit.
and rats. You can get the rats.
Zombies. But yeah, man, that's it. We'll keep you updated.
Yeah.
Say your prayers. Appreciate y'all. Like, subscribe, video.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all if y'all made it this far. Let us know what y'all think about the opioid crisis. Should America be doing more, or what?
Yeah, dude. Do you know anybody who's been affected, who has symptoms like we're talking about?
Call the hotline.
People need to talk about it more. That's why we're having this video.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But we'll catch y'all on the next one. This is a matter of fact. Signing out.